So the first thing we graph is this number right here. And where do we graph that? We graph that on our y-axis. So I'm going to highlight my y-axis, and then I'm going to plot a point on that y-axis at 2. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to look at this right here. Now, this up here tells me how much I go either up or down. And then this right here tells me how much I go to the right. Hopefully to the right. You should go to the right most of the time. Now, taking a look at your -3 right here, are you going to go up or down? Down. Why are we going down? We're going down because it's negative. And so we're going to go down 3 and then to the right 2. So we'll go down 1, 2, 3, and then to the right 1, 2, and we'll plot a point right there. And then I'm going to do it just over and over again so that I can properly connect my line and make it look all pretty. That's not very pretty. That's better. Okay, not perfect, but it's better. All right, so for this one, what's the first thing I'm going to graph? I'm going to graph this -3 right here. And where am I going to graph that -3 at? I'm going to graph that on my y-axis. Now, remember, -3 is underneath our origin. So we're going to go right here to -3. And then are we going to go up or down? We're going to go up. Why would I go up? We're going to go up because this is positive, and how many are we going to go up? 5. And then we'll go to the right 2. So we'll go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then to the right 1, 2. So there should be a point right there. And then we'll do our best to connect those points. That actually ended up going pretty well. Okay. What is the first thing I graph? I graph the +4. Where do I graph that +4 at? On my y-axis. So +4 is above our origin. So we'll do that right there. Now, in order to do this, I must have a fraction. So how do I turn -3 into a fraction? I put it over 1. Am I going to go up or down? Down. Why? Because this is negative. And then I'll go to the right 1. So we'll go down 1, 2, 3, and then to the right 1, and put a point right there. We'll do the same thing over and over again so that we can make a pretty line. And then we'll connect those points. That didn't go super well. Neither did that. It's okay. We'll call it good. It's not good, but we'll call it good. All right, so for this one, it says to find the equation of the graph. So remember, I have y equals blank x plus blank. The first thing I do, well, just like how we graphed this first on our y-axis, we're going to take a look at our y-axis first. So I'm going to highlight that y-axis. What point do you see on that y-axis? I see a 4. So my 4 goes in the left blank or the right blank. It goes in the right blank because 4 is b. That is our y-intercept. After that, what do? I find another point. I usually always try to go to the right. So I'm going to drag my finger on my line until it passes through the corner of a square. Right here is the corner of a square. So we'll put a dot there. All right. Now, we always have to go to the right. So to go to the right, do I now move up or down? I move up. Now, M is rise over run. So how much did we rise? We rose 2. How much did we run? We rose 1. So that's going to equal 2 over 1. Well, what's the same thing as 2 over 1? 2. All right. What's the first thing I do? First thing I do is I highlight that y-axis. On the y-axis, what number do you see? We see a 5. Now, does that 5 go for M or for B? My 5 goes for B because that is my y-intercept. After that, what do? I find the next point where it crosses through the corner of a square. So I'm going to go from my point to the right until it passes through the corner of a square. Boom. Corner of a square right there. Which direction do we always try to go? We always try to go to the right. So I'm going to go to the right. And then from there, do I have to go up or down? I'm going to go down. Now, it's M is what over what? M is rise over run. Now remember, we just said we went down. So is this going to be positive or negative? This is going to be negative. And we went down by 1, and we went to the right by 3. So I would have -1 over 3. All right, for the next one, we got y equals mx plus b, y equals blank, x plus blank, where that blank is m, and that blank is b. All right, what's the first thing I do? I highlight my y-axis. What point do you see on your y-axis? That would be -2. Does -2 go for m or b? -2 goes in for b. It is our y-intercept. It's on our y-axis. All right, what is the next step? Next step, I'm going to find where my line passes through the corner of a square. So I'm going to go from this dot and go to the right until we pass through the corner of a square. There is the corner of a square right there. Okay. Remember, we always try to go to the right. So we'll go to the right 3 times. And then do we go up or down? We go up. So since we went up, that's positive. Then we went to the right, so that's 3. And M is what side over what side? Sorry, what side over what side? It's going to be rise over run. So we rose 2, and we ran 3. Okay, so you have 2/3 x minus 2. All right, for this one, it's been a while since we've done this, but the first thing I do when I see a table is I draw my arrows. Now, there is a negative right here. I don't really feel like dealing with negatives, so I'm going to go somewhere where I don't see a negative. I don't see a negative here, and I don't see a negative here, so I'm going to draw my arrows here. Okay, on the right side, what would I subtract? I subtract my bottom, which is 12, minus my top, which is 7. 12 minus 7 equals 5. Okay, on the left side, what would I subtract? I subtract my bottom, which is 3, minus my top, which is 0. Then 3 minus 0 equals 3. Now remember, M is what side over what side? It's right over left. So I would do 5 over 3x plus. Now, how do I find B? B is across from where x equals 0. So I'm going to highlight all of my x's. And then x equals 0 right here. I don't know why I chose that color. Sorry. X equals 0 right here. So my y-intercept is 7. All right. Next one. Okay. So I see negatives going all the way down. And for the first time, I don't see a negative on this left side. It was 0 and 2. So I'm going to use 0 and 2 and 0 and -1. On the right side, what would I subtract? 0 minus 1. 0 minus 1, sorry, it's actually, let me take back these. We take the bottom number, then we subtract the top number. So I have 0 minus -1. Now what happens if you have 2 negatives right next to each other? They turn into a plus sign. So we actually have 0 plus 1. And 0 plus 1 gives us 1. So on our right side, we have 1. And then on our left side, what would I subtract? I would do 2 minus 0. And 2 minus 0 gives me 2. We do our right side over our left side, so we do 1 over 2. Then, how do I find my B? b is across from where x equals 0. So I'm going to go down my x's. Here is 0 right here. So what am I doing? Okay. So my b is right there at that -1. Okay. Next one, when I see a table, I draw my arrows. So on my right side, it's only positives, and on my left side, it's only positives. Now on the right side, what would I subtract? 6 minus 4. And what is 6 minus 4? 2. On the left side, what would I subtract? 2 minus 1. And 2 minus 1 gives me 1. M is what side over what side? Right over left. So I would do 2 over 1. And what's the same thing as 2 divided by 1? 2. How do we find our b? b is across from where x equals 0. So I go down my x's, and I don't see a single 0. So now you're like, Miss Dunn, how the heck do I find this? Well, we'll actually make our own 0. Now, I still have to find what number is across from that x equals 0. So let's do some math here. We're moving backwards. This entire time, this has been going forward by 1. So this was +1, this is +1, this is +1. This time I'm moving backwards. I'm going from 1 to 0, so that's -1, right? Now, on this side, every time I've added 1 on the left side, I have now added 2 on the right side. So if this moves backwards by 1, this right here would move backwards by 2, because these are 2's going all the way up, okay? So I would subtract 2 on this side. So I would do 4 minus 2, and 4 minus 2 gives me 2, which makes my y-intercept 2. All right, this one says to fill in the table for y equals 2x plus 3. Now remember, all we have to do when we see a circumstance like this is just plug it in. I have a bunch of x values right here, and all of those x values can go in for x to tell me what y is going to equal. It's an input-output chart, okay? So I have y equals 2 times whatever my x value is plus 3. Well, right here in this first row, what's my x value? My x value is 0. So I start with 2 times 0, and what's 2 times 0? 2 times 0 is 0, plus the 3 that's still there. And then what's 0 plus 3? 3. All right, for the next one, I have y equals 2 times whatever my x is, plus 3. Well, in this situation, what is my x? My x is 1. So in that little blank right there, I'm going to put 1. We start with 2 times 1. And what's 2 times 1? 2 times 1 is 2. And then I still have my little 3 right here. So I would do plus 3. Whoa, that's nasty. And then we have 2 plus 3. And what's 2 plus 3? 2 plus 3 is 5. Next one, I have y equals 2 times whatever my x is plus 3, based off of this equation right here, right? So in this case, what is my x? My x is 2. So in my little blank right there, I'm going to write a 2. We start with 2 times 2. And what's 2 times 2? 2 times 2 is 4. And then I still have my little plus 3 right here, so I'll write plus 3. And then what's 4 plus 3? 7. All right, remember we have our equation, y equals 2x plus 3, or y equals 2 times my blanks plus 3. What's going to go in my blank right here? That would be 3, because that's my x value. We start with 2 times 3. What's 2 times 3? 2 times 3 is 6, and then I still have my little plus 3 right here, so I would add 3, and then 6 plus 3 is 9. Last one, 2 times my blank plus 3, because it's 2x plus 3. What goes in my blank right here? That would be 4. So I have 2 times 4, which gives me 8, plus 3, which gives me 11.